Tinker, Tailor, Baker, and the Cinnamon Roll Maker. An audio play by Koa Beam.
This story takes place in a land of epic tales, heroic quests, and mysterious adventures filled with vast dungeons, dangerous dragons, mighty magic, and monstrous mayhem, where glory or doom is but a moment away for those intrepid few brave enough to venture forth. Welcome to the realms.
Our cast of characters.
ORRA, determined, plucky, quick-witted leader of the adventurous, definitely not mercenary group, and just the right amount of optimistic. I'm always ready for a new challenge, trusty dagger in one hand, and my favorite, thick, well-worn, leather-bound book in the other.
KAIN. I am practical and cautious, and I carry an elven longbow. I'm ORRA's green-eyed, gray-cloaked loyal companion. My face seems perpetually smudged with dirt, grime, and soot in a vain attempt to roughen my looks and steer others away from my perceived possible Fey ancestry.
BRAKK MAUL. I'm a stout, boisterous, but good-hearted warrior, prone to voicing my simple observations. I'm more suited to gladiatorial fighting, wielding my large hammer and massive shield in a local arena called The Pit, than I am to missions of stealth.
LYRA, a refined and lovely divine magic user. This wayward elven princess is easily startled and often slightly exasperated, but I value efficiency and cleanliness. I share a bewildering connection of mutual affection with BRAKK MAUL. This is much to my and others' surprise, even seemingly Brock at times.
Taki, a roguishly charming adventurous and quite excitable bard. He's always looking for the next thrilling tale to tell, all while turning heads with his undeniable otherworldly charisma by brandishing his trademark mischievous grin, enchanting voice, and all while casting his all-too-frequent whimsical wink with a seemingly magical twinkle in his eye.
The mysterious benefactor, an unseen but powerful figure whose motivations are shrouded in secrecy, known only through their cryptic instructions and generous payments. They dwell within a dark and oddly enchanting Gothic mansion that overlooks the Oakhaven Bay from the cliffs near the Thunder Falls.
The benefactor's emissary, the right-hand man of the mysterious benefactor. He has a pale, gaunt complexion and is impeccably dressed. The benefactor's representative exudes an air of quiet authority and unwavering loyalty, dry, sharp, and observant, and always giving off the sense that they know more than they are telling, or are willing to share.
Soundguard 1, the veteran, stoic and by the book, more concerned with keeping a quiet order to the day than with the intricacies of Parkland's underworld, often found controlling with a weary sigh.
Townguard 2, the rookie. I'm young and eager, a fresh face on the Oakhaven force, quick to volunteer and always ready for action. I'm always ready with a friendly wave and a hearty hello, even if I'm sometimes a bit naive to the dangers of the city.
Muggs Wet Whiskers, the barkeep, gruff but fair dwarven tavern owner with a weathered face and a keen ear for gossip. A former adventurer in my youth, I have forgotten more about adventuring than others may ever dream of. And as the owner of a popular Oakhaven pub, I know more about the town's secrets than I let on.
I'm Sasha, your saucy serving wench. Bustling, busty, quick-witted, and a bit of a flirt. I navigate the tavern with practiced ease, always ready with a witty remark, a knowing glance, or a sassy tease for all my tavern patrons.
The adversary. What's to say? They are dark, mysterious, and deadly, and I never say a word in this play.
Act 1. Let's do it. Scene 1. Interior Oakhaven Sewers. Night. The sounds of dripping water, distant scuttling of sewer rats and other underground vermin, with the faint echoes of the city above.
We join our intrepid adventurers in the seaside city of Oakhaven as ORRA, the group's de facto leader, stands haunched in the murky darkness of the sewers, her face illuminated by a dim, flickering light of a magical lantern she holds. She is intently scrutinizing the contents of a large, worn, leather-bound book she always carries, while her stalwart companion, KAIN, a cautious and ever-vigilant shadow beside her, shivers slightly in the darkness, his face smudged with soot.
Ooh. Are you sure this is the right place, ORRA? Smells like despair and last week's fish stew. Tell me again while we're sneaking through the sewers of this ever so pleasant and inviting town this lovely evening.
She's flipping through her book in the dim light.
Well, other than this being the most unexpected and stealthily hidden of routes to our target, the map Tacky gave me indicates this particular confluence of despair and fish stew is our rendezvous point. Trust the cartography, KAIN. It's never failed us, yet.
Just saying, why does it always have to be an underground tunnel or some dank dungeon or, hear me out, God forbid, just not a sewer for once? Just once? Man, it would be nice if our mission were at a beach, a wild forest, or going to some magic wizard tower on a hill or something.
Just then, the pair hear a series of rodent squeaks and a sudden short, girlish scream and some frantic splashing that can be heard coming from a short distance down one of the side tunnels.
I hit! Get it, Lie?
Sounds of squeaks and scurrying rodents intensifies.
No, BRAKK, don't!
Then, all of a sudden, there's a loud
Clang, clang.
Stopping his rant about maybe someday going on a more pleasant adventure, KAIN freezes in surprise at the sounds of the clang and explosion echoing from further down the tunnel.
A loud, fiery explosion boom.
A split second later, a rumbling sound and sudden rush of heat blows down through the sewer, racing towards the duo. His eyes snap wide as if knowing what is coming. KAIN quickly shields himself and ORRA with his cloak as the heat wave rushes over them.
His expletive is drowned by the sound of the heat wave. The sound of a heavy cloth being whipped aside. Whoosh,
What in the nine hells was that?
said while covering himself in ORRA from his cloak.
ORRA stands up and brushes herself off. She looks around before looking at KAIN as if already knowing the cause of the loud cacophony of sound and the sudden explosive heat wave. Tilting her head and raising an eyebrow.
Now, KAIN, you know what that was.
She looks at her leather-bound book, checking to make sure it is none the worse for wear.
More than likely, it was our muscle-bound comrade of perpetual joy and his lady fair. You know how they can be. Either that, or it was a very evil, very large, and grumpy, magical, hairy dark elf spider thing with explosive gas. Oh, just think. Then you could run off and fight it, KAIN, and finally put that fancy sword of yours to use.
Flashing footsteps and echoing chatter.
A pair approach from the tunnelway that just moments ago fire had just roared through, filled with the echoing chatter of those someones being very loud while trying to be extra quiet, but just can't quite seem to get the hang of using their inside voice to do so.
That was a close one. I'll lie.
Yes, Molly. Very close indeed.
Slightly singed, but none the worse for wear, the large and somewhat imposing warrior named BRAKK lumbers into view from around the corner. His heavy footsteps splash in the shallow water. He carries a large, dented shield on his back and wears a perpetually bewildered expression upon his face.
BRAKK here? Is this where we find shiny things and smash bad guys? And where are these giant hairy mutant spiders? Bring them on!
LYRA, her elegant robe surprisingly clean despite the surroundings, appears behind BRAKK, holding a small glowing orb that casts a soft, ethereal light. She pinces her nose delicately.
Did someone say giant spiders? Ew! First rats, and now you tell me... there are spiders? I'm not, I say, not fighting more rats or spiders. Rats are bad enough. Spiders? Nope. I'm out. Nope.
Oh, spiders aren't that bad, Lie. Oh.
Notices a small spider on the ledge.
You just smash them like this!
BRAKK swings his massive hammer in a downward arc to smash something on the sewer ledge. They all cringe, wincing at the expected thunderous boom of the hammer colliding with the stonework. But the hammer stops mere centimeters away from the stone edge, hovering just above a tiny spider it would have most certainly crushed into oblivion. Then calmly, he lowers his hammer back to his side.
But I'm with Lai. BRAKK does not like rats. No, sir. Especially large mutant rats.
Spiders are bad.
Looking around tentatively, she punches BRAKK in the arm.
Must you announce our presence to the entire subterranean rodent population, Molly?
She points to the ceiling of the tunnel.
You do know that there are vents and grates above in locations where our passage might not go unnoticed, even if we are taking this less than desirable, stealthy approach.
Sometimes reaching the objective requires a bit of subtlety and discretion, Lyra.
So what the heck did you two do that caused a very loud, very violent sewage heat wave?
Looking at each other and then KAIN, with a shrug of their shoulders, they say in unison,
Fireball!
I know it was a fireball, but why?
Rats!
Rats! But BRAKK is good at fighting other things, and sometimes good at hiding, like now.
He gestures vaguely at the open sword tunnel.
And BRAKK can be stealthy and quiet, too.
Great. Try some of it now, please, BRAKK.
Random sounds of someone slipping and sliding down the tunnel towards the group.
Oh no. Whoops.
Just then, Tacky, the team's ever-lovable and roguishly charming bard, tumbles in from a side passage, landing with a splash into the sewer water right in the center of the group. Yet, miraculously, as Tacky stands up, the mud and other unspeakable sludge simply starts to magically slough off what appears to be some new, custom-made and rather posh bardic attire. Almost nonchalantly, he snaps his suit jacket down and brushes it off, and gives the team his trademark smile and a bow before waving hello.
So sorry I'm a tad late. Got her, tied up, finishing up some business with a local tailor. Well, more with his seamstress. She offered to help me, make some fine, adjustments to my pants. Seems my codpiece was fitting a bit too snug and it needed, let out a bit.
Gazing off as if at memory, smiling, then shaking his head, bringing him back to the present.
How was I supposed to know the seamstress was his daughter?
The members of the party slap their foreheads, groan and sigh as if they've heard this kind of thing before.
So, what the heck happened to you guys?
Well, we was just coming around this corner, and then all of a sudden...
BRAKK saw a big, ugly rat.
Fireball.
Was it a were-rat? I hear there's a mutant were-rat down here in these tunnels, building some kind of, secret army. Or maybe it's a smallish, medium-sized, giant mutant rat.
Did you just say smallish, medium-sized, giant mutant rat? There aren't any mutant rats in these tunnels.
I beg to differ.
Yeah, what if there's, who knows, maybe one of those mutant rats, like a really large, regular-sized rat, but is kind of wise and kind of good at fighting, and it's like mentoring a group of turtle sewer warriors to kill sewer wanderers. Or maybe he has them deep trained to fight an oppressive evil warlord that is secretly building an evil army of his own in town so that he can overthrow...
What are you talking about?
Well, it could happen. You know, magic. Right, Lai?
Yeah, KAIN. Magic.
They all stand and stare, looking at KAIN as if, duh, that should go without saying.
Well, anyways, seems the rest of you made it here, right? On time, as always, and none the worse for wear.
His dialogue breaks off as he looks at the rest of the team, and sniffing, he then looks over to see Lyra and BRAKK covered in the muck and looking a bit scorched before continuing.
Anyways, I must say the scenic route down here does leave something to be desired, doesn't it? Oh well, still excellent atmosphere for a clandestine meeting, wouldn't you agree? Plenty of initial drama and suspense for what will no doubt be an incredibly simple snatch and grab job, and with a sweet payday to boot.
He winks at ORRA. Finally, looking up from her book, a faint smile and a look of excitement on her face.
Ah, yes. Well, good. Now that you're all here,
You do take us to all the best places, though.
Looking around, waving his hand in front of his nose, and gesturing to the sewer walls around them.
thanks to Tacky's contact, he was able to acquire a map of the town's subterranean maintenance tunnels.
She unfolds a map from her book.
Sewer system.
And what contact would that be?
That doesn't matter.
Funny you should ask. You see, as I was having a, rather enthusiastic and spirited chat with the seamstress when she happened to mention this gnome artificier.
What's an art officer?
Not an art officer, my overly muscularly well-endowed friend. An artificer.
He means the gnome is a tinkerer, BRAKK. He makes cool trinkets, gizmos, and things for people.
I do like cool gizmo things. Okay, carry on.
So, she tells me about the artificer having this rather nasty ongoing feud with the baker down the street from them. Turns out the gnome's well-proportioned wife is something of an amateur baker herself. By the way, can confirm her pie is quite tasty.
Licks his lips with a slight smack, and then looking over to Aura, he winks and smiles mischievously at her.
Who knew?
Her cheeks reddening slightly from Tacky's innuendo, she clears her throat and starts talking again a bit louder, trying to get the conversation back on track.
As I was saying, thanks to this map and his advanced scouting techniques, it should make our little baked goods quest a walk in the park.
Looking around the sewer walls,
Still not a park.
looking at KAIN a bit frustrated,
Giving us simple and direct access to the target location, making this an easy snatch and grab mission.
When has it ever been an easy snatch and grab mission? Oh God, please. Please, by all that is holy, let there be no goddamn cursable ladders we need to go up.
Or down.
Yes, or down.
Or seemingly simple, mundane bridges over shallow water we have to cross.
excluding Aura. These mutterings draw all too familiar nods of agreement from the rest of the party.
Wait, did you just say baked goods?
Ahem. Our anonymous, yet exceedingly generous client requires us to retrieve a recipe.
In what seems like stunned disbelief, BRAKK blinks rapidly, LYRA raises an eyebrow, and Tacky claps his hands together quietly and slowly as he lets out a slight chuckle, laughing softly.
And by a recipe, you of course mean some ancient apothecary's ultra-rare love potion that will make all bow on bended knee and undying devotion, or some long-lost concoction of super and utterly overpowered ultimate heroism?
Or better yet, a long lost and forgotten, one-of-a-kind diagram of a mega, yet simple to build, war machine needed to save the kingdom from certain doom!
Or maybe even how to make a mystical contraption or magical concoction used to tame evil dragons or something? Right? Right, Aura?
Looking confident with her chin set high while looking at the group optimistically.
No, I do not. Our target is a bakery.
A recipe at a bakery for risking life and limb in the sewers for baked goods.
It's not just any recipe, KAIN. This could be the oft-foretold legendary cinnamon swirl roll of prosperity. Or is it destiny? Either way, it's a thing of legend, or so I'm told. And this baker, Old Man Fitzwilliam, has it stashed away somewhere over in his overly opulent, ye old 3-story bakery in the center of town. Fitzwilliam's wicked good breads and divine pastries.
She smiles triumphantly.
Yep. Bravo. A good old snatch and grab. Ah, yes. The Great Cinnamon Roll Heist, Part 1. I like it.
Please stop saying snatch.
More likely to be the Flaming Flower fiasco. Wait, what? A legendary sweet roll of what now? Damn it! How does this guy have a 3-story bakery?
It's converted from a grand old church.
Cinnamon roll. of
Prosperity.
destiny.
Yeah, cinnamon roll, KAIN. Weren't you listening?
Cinnamon roll, sweet roll, banana bread, moist, buttery, blueberry muffins, whatever. That's not the point.
Oh, BRAKK didn't know there were going to be muffins. I love moist muffins.
I'm more of a tarts and scones girl myself.
Oh, I do love a good banana bread and maybe on occasion a lovely macaroon.
Well, yeah, I mean, who doesn't like some tasty macaroons?
Are you sure it's not just the bananas you like? Eh?
As he nudges Tacky.
I mean, you gotta go for the macaroons.
Macaroons? Bah! You can have your stale-ass cookies that are not cookies. BRAKK calls dibs on the moist and buttery blueberry muffins.
Please stop saying moist. And enough about macaroons already.
Macaroons.
So, our target is some grand bakery, and our mission is apparently culinary espionage. I trust this client's financial solvency is as substantial as their taste for powerful pastries.
More than substantial, Lyra. And if half of what the mysterious benefactor's emissary told me is true, this mission is crucial to the economic stability of Oakhaven and may even help save the entire realm. Now, listen closely. This is the plan. First,
Music builds as the scene ends.
The group moves on through the town maintenance tunnels, planning their next move.
From off stage, someone, KAIN, yells.
It's a sewer!
As I was saying, they move stealthily.
The sound of a distant mouse squeak, a yelp, a loud crashing sound, the sound of a large hammer swinging with a loud metallic crunch with a bit of a squish and splashing sounds.
damn it! Damn it, BRAKK!
Sorry, it startled me.
As I was saying, moving stealthily, the adventurers make their way through the town's maintenance tunnels, speaking in hushed tones as they navigate through the underground bowels of the city, onward to prosperity.
Someone from off stage, then?
Or destiny.
Or destiny.
End of scene music. Scene 2, interior, the bakery, night.
Later that evening,
Frantic adventure music. The sounds of frantic running, coughing, and the sound of the door breaking open, an explosion, and the roar of the fire in the background.
with the bakery engulfed in flames and several explosions going off deeper inside the massive bakery, two of our stalwart adventurers, KAIN and ORRA, are making a mad dash up the bakery's bell tower. They are quickly joined by Tacky as he hastily passes, as if they were standing still, as they all slam into an incredibly sturdy, locked door blocking their access to the roof and their escape.
Me. Excuse me.
They look at each other as the door repeatedly stops their attempts to break through.
The trio grunting and yelling as they are kicking and slamming into the door.
Oh, come on!
Sticky! Kit!
There's not enough time for that. Can't you, pray or magic it open?
Do I look like LYRA? No, I can't pray or magic it open.
I used all my unlocking spell component stuff below. What do you want me to do? Fireball it open?
She points at the door and then gestures wildly, hands up in frustration, indicating their cramped and closed space.
And where the hell are BRAKK and LYRA?
With heat and flames racing up the stairwell, shaking his hands and gritting his teeth, KAIN, frustrated, reaches into a pouch on his belt and pulls out a small vial of green liquid. He grimaces as he quickly drinks it down. Blinking and shaking his head, he clearly doesn't like the taste. Moments later, his clothing seems to fit tighter as his muscles strain against the seams of his leather armor. With a cracking roll of his neck and a grunt, KAIN lowers his shoulder and races at the door, blocking their access to the roof.
Wham! The sound of thunderous crash and splintering wood as the door breaks, blown off its hinges from the impact.
Tacky and ORRA look at each other, eyes wide as they race through the opening left behind KAIN.
There's a loud crashing sound and the sound of a roaring fire.
As they all leap and scramble to their feet, the trio make a mad dash to the edge of the roof as flames dance menacingly around them. KAIN, ORRA, and Tacky stand silhouetted against the inferno. ORRA double-checks her book and the recipe as she again clutches it close to her chest. Tacky coughs and looks around at the roof, then at ORRA, then at KAIN.
Music. Frantic adventure music dies off.
We have to go, ORRA. The roof, it's not going to hold.
A loud crack forms as a burst of flame shoots through the roof next to them from below, as dust and debris rain down from above.
A loud cracking sound echoes around them.
Gang! We have to go!
Not without this! It's the last copy of Grandma May's epic cinnamon rolls of divine destiny.
She triumphantly says as she slaps her book, holding it dear to her chest.
Old Man Fitzwilliam will never.
Not now. Don't care.
Quickly glancing around, KAIN notices the roof of the church bakery stables below. Looking over at Tacky, they nod as if knowing they are thinking the same thing. Shaking his head, he reaches out and grabs ORRA by the arm.
More fire and wood cracking.
Now!
They dash for the edge of the roof as they make a desperate leap of faith.
Sounds of crashing through a roof with loud thuds as the trio plummet into the piles of hay.
Oof.
Oof.
Miraculously, they have safely crashed down through the forgiving soft roof of the stables. With stolen recipes stashed firmly in ORRA's thick, leather-bound book, she hugs it closely. Lying there a moment, they all look at one another as Tacky springs to his feet and starts running off.
Let's go!
KAIN and ORRA scramble to their feet and quickly race after Tacky.
Looking back at the inferno as they run, then turning to Tacky and yelling,
Now, what the hell happened to BRAKK and LYRA?
loud cracking noises as a wall breaks apart.
Just then, out of nowhere, BRAKK, with LYRA hoisted over his shoulder, quickly runs past KAIN.
Hey, guys!
As he quickly catches up to Tacky, and as they run past the bewildered trio, LYRA, looking at them, palms up, scrunches her shoulders.
Sorry.
A loud whoosh and a roar of the fire growing louder behind them.
With the bakery engulfed in flames, our heroes scramble through the back alleys of Oakhaven. The sweet smell of cinnamon now mingled with the acrid scent of smoke.
The sound of frantic running, coughing, the roar of the fire fading slightly into the background. Music, a couple of ending notes of adventure, music thump and mark the end of the scene. Scene 3, exterior, Oakhaven streets, night.
That was close, but BRAKK MAUL good at running, especially from fire.
My magical reserves are depleted. And my hair smells of singed flour.
Fiery escape. What a tale this will make. The Flaming Flower Fiasco.
At least we got the recipe. Our mysterious benefactor will be pleased.
Mysterious benefactor? BRAKK MAUL just cares about the money. Oh, yeah, and getting to eat some cinnamon rolls?
The specifics of our client's wealth are, as yet, unverified. Though I must admit, the remuneration offered was substantial.
Substantial is an understatement, Lyra. I mean, did you see the way his emissary dressed? Silk coat, gold spectacles, and swanky leather boots. Meow! If his boss dresses half as nice, then that guy has got to be loaded, right?
We'll find out when we deliver this. Let's move. We need to be far from here by sunrise.
Or Hear me out. I have a brilliant idea. We can go get a few well-deserved drinks at that pub down the street.
No, BRAKK. That would be a totally and utterly stupid thing to do. Especially so close to the area of liberation for this time-critical information desired by our client.
Or it's brilliant. Right, Tacky?
Lie, is that your fancy way of saying, hey guys, let's not stand next to the burning building crime scene?
The tavern? Now that sounds like a proper ending to an evening's excitement. Lead the way, BRAKK MAUL!
ORRA and LYRA look at each other, exchanging glances of disbelief.
I'm surrounded by idiots.
Sounds of the crackling fire and falling debris persist as the scene fades to black. We hear running, footsteps, a menacing laugh, and a single scream can be heard in the distance. Scene 4, Interior, the Wet Whiskers Tavern, night. Sound of raucous laughter, clinking mugs, and a lively but slightly off-tune lute being strummed.
The air in the Wet Whiskers Tavern is thick with the scent of stale ale and greasy food. The tavern owner, Muggs, a gruff but jovial dwarf with a magnificent beard, wipes down the counter with a practiced hand. Our heroes, still smelling faintly of smoke and sewers, try to blend in amongst the boisterous cloud.
Wiping a dry mug.
What'll it be? Oi now, you look like you've seen a ghost, or perhaps had a run-in with some particularly robust fire-breathing monster of the week.
He winks at the group.
In our fine town.
Five of your finest.
He slams a large coin on the counter.
Five of your finest, Muggsy. And make 'em strong. BRAKK MAUL needs to celebrate a successful mission.
Just water for us, good sir. We're on a long journey.
Raises an eyebrow, a knowing glint in his eye.
Water, eh? In my tavern? You must be truly parched. Sasha, attend to our thirsty guests. They paid good coin for some cool, crisp water.
Sasha, a buxom serving wench with a mischievous glint in her eye, sashays over to their table, a tray balanced expertly on one hand. As Sasha passes by, Muggs gives her a quick slap on her butt.
A crisp sound of spanking slap. Oh my.
While feigning surprise and disapproval, Sasha playfully slaps away Muggs' hand. As Sasha passes BRAKK, she playfully hip bumps him with a wink and a smile.
Oops. Oh, excuse me, sir. I didn't see you there.
Sasha leans in a little too close to Taki, her gaze lingering on him as she takes a long whiff and smiles.
Well, hello there, handsome. Looks like you've been through the ringer. A few good drinks will fix that right up. And perhaps a private room for the night? They're extra cozy. She winks at Taki and then suddenly nudges BRAKK MAUL's arm with her hip. You too, big guy. I'm sure I could find something suitable for you as well. You know, help you relax a bit.
A room, you say? Why, that sounds simply divine. Especially after such a rough night.
We appreciate the offer, but we truly must be going soon.
Eyes darting around the tavern, she overhears snippets of conversation.
The Copper Crown is consolidating power. Someone's been hunting the unicorns. Strange trinkets vanishing from the nobles' row. I hear there's a fire-breathing monster in the sewers.
The sound, random tavern banter, and then the tavern door opening.
Two heavily armored town guards enter the tavern. They look worn out and tired. They have clearly been recently helping fight the fire down the street, from the looks of their ash-covered tunics and tarnished armor. They raise their hands, calling all to attention, their voices cutting through the din.
All right, okay. Excuse all. We would like to have a few words with ye.
Yeah, anybody know anything about the bakery fire? No?
Any trouble tonight, Mugs? There's been a right mess down by the old church.
Oh, the usual ruckus, just our regular rabble, and certainly nothing that me and good old Bertha.
Gestures over his shoulder to an ancient dwarven battle axe hanging on the wall.
Can't take care of if needs be, so no need to be worrying your weary bones about it. Why not pull up a seat and have yourself a drink? It looks like you need one.
If only I could, Mugs. Got to be on the business of finding out who is seen this evening in the neighborhood and all.
You won't believe it, sir. The bakery. Old man Fitzwilliam's. It's burned to a crisp. And get this. They found his body in the alleyway behind it. Murdered. Blood everywhere but in his body. Gruesome sight to be sure.
Hey, that's enough of that, rookie. How are we going to find out what people know if you be going telling them all we know about it before we can get to asking them?
ORRA and LYRA exchange horrified glances. KAIN grabs Tacky by the arm, squeezing him hard as he and ORRA pull their companions into a tight huddle near a shadowed corner of the tavern. ORRA speaks, keeping her voice low and urgent.
Someone killed old man Fitzwilliam? Tacky! BRAKK! What did you do? You guys told me the place was empty when it went up.
Whoa, boss. Not us. We just, negotiated. Borrowing the recipe.
Murder? This wasn't part of the plan, ORRA. We're thieves, sure, but not assassins.
Still a little,
Go ahead.
still a little dazed, but his eyes beginning to sharpen.
A murder? Oh, this is getting much more dramatic than just a simple recipe heist.
He realizes someone overheard. He realizes that someone may have overheard them. Just as quickly, he is distracted as he glances over to the ever so comely barmaid Sasha, who is still pouting, and then back at ORRA.
What was I saying? I guess we should go, though I was looking forward to a private room.
ORRA punches him in the arm.
How? I mean, for the story, you understand. Bardic research.
This changes everything. We've stumbled into something far grander and far more lethal than mere culinary acquisition. We are compromised.
So, no room or cinnamon rolls? And bad guys are here? BRAKK is ready to smash!
Grabbing Brackmall's arm.
No smashing. The bad guys are not here, BRAKK. We need to disappear. Now! Before they start to question about the soot and ash-covered strangers hanging out in a tavern close to a bakery fire that just happened and connect those questions to us.
The veteran glances around the tavern, his eyes falling on the group huddled in the corner. His brow furrows slightly.
Hey, rookie, doesn't that one
He nods subtly to KAIN.
look a bit like that fellow on that missing persons poster? Or is it a wanted poster? Something about a suspiciously green-eyed, shady-looking, dirty, angry ranger type of individual with a gray cloak and a fancy sword?
I don't know, sir. He's got a right dirty face, for sure. All covered in soot and whatnot. But a lot of people have faces tonight, sir. But, now that you mention it, that one with the glowing...
He nods toward LYRA.
She kind of looks like that description of the missing elven princess we got a warrant for a 6th night back or so.
The guards squint and look at the party closer, then start to walk across the tavern towards them.
Stepping in front of the guards, wiping down the bar loudly.
Gentlemen, you look like you had a long night, and perhaps a bit of a dry throat. How about a round on the house? You have to be parched.
Appearing beside the guard with 2 overflowing mugs, leaning in conspiratorially. Or perhaps, you may want to interrogate me in one of the upper rooms. She playfully winks at the rookie guard as she, none too subtly, caresses his arm. I know a few secrets about Oak Haven's underbelly That might just quench your thirst for secrets, if you catch my drift. Sasha leans in closer to the guard to whisper something in his ear. As she does so, looking over her shoulder, she winks at the party while nudging Town Guard with her head.
Flustered and a bit taken back, the guards are momentarily distracted by Mug's offer and Sasha's suggestive charm. ORRA, KAIN, LYRA, and Tacky begin to subtly but quickly move towards the tavern door. BRAKK, MAUL, still a bit confused, hesitates, glancing longingly at the half-finished mugs on the bar.
Mm-hmm.
BRAKK, MAUL, move, or you'll be celebrating in a jail cell.
Oh, right. No jail. Jail bad.
Need to go now.
But, Sasha was just offering.
Grabbing Tacky's other arm, pulling him toward the exit.
Not now, Tacky. Move.
Leaving so soon, boys? You haven't even had a taste of my hospitality. Reluctantly following, casting a longing look at the half-full mugs.
But BRAKK MAUL didn't even get to drink anything.
KAIN and ORRA practically dragging a bewildered Tacky out of the tavern, leaving Sasha with a disappointed sigh and the two town guards still discussing their grim discovery.
Right now, let's just get back to business.
Oh, yeah, right.
As the group makes their way through the back streets of Oakhaven, a singular shadowy figure cloaked in black watches the group leave from, well, the shadows of the alleyway outside, of course.
Tacky?
A slight yet sinister smile crosses their face, and barely audible from the shadow says, "Excellent. All goes to plan." Unheard and unknown by our intrepid party.
No, I definitely heard that.
No, you didn't.
I did so. I have excellent hearing.
I heard it too.
Yeah, me too.
No, you didn't. Now hush you.
We heard it.
Heard it.
No, you didn't.
We definitely.
I know you heard me, but you didn't hear the shadowy figure in the alley. And by the way, you're not supposed to hear me either. Or, I mean, I know you can hear me now, but pretend you can't hear me. No, where was I? Oh, yes. Time for the end of the scene. Dramatic music. I said end of the scene. Dramatic music.
Dramatic music kicks in and then fades off. Act 2. Playtime, baby. Scene 5, interior, an abandoned building near the docks, early morning. Music, new ominous sounding music. Sounds of the ocean and waves.
As dawn breaks, our group, -1 charismatic bard, has made their way to the Oak Haven docks and is currently hiding out in an abandoned fish storage warehouse, awaiting their contact, the mysterious benefactor's emissary.
ORRA, you always find the most lovely of places for us to hide out.
Oh, it's not that bad, KAIN.
Yeah, KAIN, it's not that bad. Oh.
As something catches his eye in the corner and he wanders over to it, looking slightly excited.
BRAKK finds some old sea rations, and he grabs a piece of what we can only hope is some kind of fish jerky. After giving it a quick sniff test and a scrunch of his nose, he gives a slight shrug of his shoulders, then eagerly starts munching on it with abandon.
Molly, don't eat that. You don't know where it's been or how long it's been there.
Well, I know where it's going. In my belly.
Now, Molly, we just need to wait here a bit while Taki lets our contact know we have the goods. Then we can leave and go get a proper meal.
Well, all that being said, let's hope Tacky gets back soon.
Unbeknownst to the group, Taki has seemingly out of nowhere somehow mysteriously snuck back into the derelict warehouse to meet up with the group, and now stands holding a fresh hot cup of something.
During the conversation, LYRA and BRAKK have started about the sea rations.
It's a fine location we have here.
She stealthily looks at the broken window.
Plus, it shouldn't be long now.
Shouldn't be long for what?
Simultaneously, the startled group reacts, readying for battle.
Spinning around and drawing his sword.
Ah!
Arms instantly raised and waving to cast a spell.
Couch!
Coughs, choking on something, while grabbing his hammer and knocking over a stack of boxes as he swings about. Sound, small wet fart noise.
What the?
Taking a deep, slow breath and sighing.
Oh, it's just you.
Yeah, who else would it be?
Holy crap. Damn it, Tacky. You gotta stop popping in out of nowhere like that. I almost killed you.
Looking at KAIN with a smirk of disbelief.
Please.
Yeah, me too. And I think I may have pooed a little.
Tacky wrinkles his nose and sniffs the air.
How long have you been over there?
Yeah, Taki, how long? And what you drinking?
Oh, this? Just a hot cup of coffee I got on the way back. You know, at that mermaid place. And not long. Just since KAIN started bitching about the location.
When isn't he?
I don't always bitch about our locations.
Looking at the party members.
Do I, guys?
The group members look around at each other, quietly acknowledging to each other that KAIN... quietly acknowledging to each other and KAIN that yes, he is always bitching about their location.
Looking around.
Oh, come on, guys. Back me up here.
Tacky, eyebrows raised with a slight smile on his face, takes a sip of his mermaid coffee.
Hey, Tack, you know you could have brought one for all of us.
He says while gesturing at the cup of coffee in Tacky's hands.
Though, I'm more of a tea girl myself.
Want me to go back and get you some?
Oh, yes, that would be lovely. And maybe some crumpets.
Tacky looks at her nodding while BRAKK gnaws away at his questionable fish jerky.
Looking back at BRAKK.
You know, all this talk about confectionaries and tasty pastries has me thinking.
What?
Molly, we have to go visit your mum up the coast after this is over and get her to make some of her floating cheesecake.
She closes her eyes and reminisces.
It's been so long since we've been back on this coast. I'm sure she would love to see you. You get to visit that challenge arena I know you love so much.
Hell yeah! Good idea!
gives Lyra a big smile.
Mama Ma will be happy to see you too. It's been too long since we was home to check on things, and it would be good to get back to the pit for some good sparring for a change.
Challenge Arena? Are you talking about the Blade Coast Gladiatorial Blood Rain Arena in the floating city of Ring Haven, otherwise known as the Pit?
Smiling and nodding,
Yup,
BRAKK's the champion.
looking tacky up and down.
you wouldn't last a minute in the pit.
Wait. What? He's the what now? Isn't the champion of the pit like the owner, mayor, leader, chieftain, or something of the floating city?
Well, you see...
Oh god, not this story again.
You hush. You know you wouldn't last a minute in the pit either.
Shaking his head, KAIN breaks out his flask and sits down, knowing a long, amusing story about BRAKK's convoluted escapades in the pit is about to happen.
As I was saying, this is a fine location for laying low for a little bit while awaiting word from Tacky about our handoff location for the goods. And of course, our favorite part of any contract, the payment.
As she smiles and taps on the bound book she is carrying.
Yeah, cheer up. This is a great clandestine meetup location. I mean, who would think to look for us here? Not like the town guards are going to be knocking on the door.
He sips his coffee triumphantly.
And as if on cue,
Knock, 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 knock.
oh, they all react, some closing their eyes, some shaking their heads and or clenching their fists, or simply looking up to the heavens, to whatever powers be, as if to say, why, Lord, why?
Hey, Lord, why? Hello?
Oh!
That's rather unexpected.
You just had to go and say it, didn't you?
The group looks menacingly at Tacky and shakes their heads as he slowly sips his coffee, shrugging his shoulders as if to say, sorry.
More knocking at the door.
Guys, should I get it?
No, you shouldn't get it.
I'm just asking. You know, it just seems the polite thing to do.
Nobody knows we're here.
Well, clearly that's not true. Someone must have tracked Tacky here.
Excuse me? And if anyone was tracked, it was probably your behemoth of a boyfriend.
Hey, now I'm hella stealthy.
That as he swings the hammer into position to prepare for potential combat. In doing so, it accidentally clangs against another stack of prints and crab traps that crash to the ground.
Oh.
Ollie.
They all grimace and wince at the noise of the assorted equipment and wooden crates clattering onto the floor of the warehouse.
Sorry.
I'll get it.
Looking side-eye at Tacky, she approaches the door, and then with a quick nod of her head, she points to the rest of the group members, then to different locations around the room. Knocking again, the sound of someone outside clearing their throat.
So that would be, let's have Owen.
Tacky looks at the rest of the group and shrugs again. He takes another sip of his drink and then slowly steps back away from the direction of the door as the others give him various looks of aggravation and knowing as they position themselves for possible battle. Almost as if this is a routine they have done before and are far too accustomed to. ORRA sneaks a peek out the window near the door, then pauses. Looking surprised, then gazing back at her fellow party members, she raises one finger to them with an expression they seldom have seen. One of bewilderment.
Sound of an old wooden door opening.
The door opens to reveal an attractive young lady, the local tailor's daughter.
The not-so-distant sounds of early morning waves lapping at boats and seagulls.
Oh, hello, Jasmine.
Tacky quickly brushes his hair to the side before stepping forward past the rest of his party to greet their unexpected guest with his unparalleled charm.
Good morning, fair lady. Won't you come in?
With a bow and a smile, Tacky steps forward, reaching out to take her hand. Blushing slightly, she happily accepts his offer, extending her hand. He takes the seamstress's hand, kissing it, as he ushers her into the warehouse. Tacky looks to ORRA and shrugs. BRAKK, LYRA, and KAIN all relax, going back to their previous activities. BRAKK taking a bite out of his jerky, LYRA returning to BRAKK's side, and KAIN taking a swig from his flask once again.
Continued sounds of the bay.
Quickly glancing outside, ORRA looks around to make sure the seamstress wasn't followed. Satisfied with their continued camouflage, she closes the door and goes mostly unnoticed as, unbeknownst to her, a lone, shadowy figure lurks in the distance, watching her and her party from the crow's nest of a sea-ravaged fishing vessel. The only sounds to be heard are those of the seagulls, morning waves lapping the ships, and the early morning dock workers of Oakhaven starting their day.
Sound closing doors as the sounds of the bay lessen.
So, what brings?
A magical whooshing noise.
Before Tacky can finish his question, the seamstress is engulfed in a sparkling magical aura as she transforms into a 6-foot-tall, gaunt-looking but well-dressed man with a well-groomed handlebar mustache and goatee. The mysterious benefactor's emissary.
Oh!
In surprise, whiskey sprays out of Kane's mouth as Tacky is for once struck in speechlessness. The rest of the startled group fumbles for their weapons and other equipment, once again preparing for a fight.
The sound, small, wet fart noises emanate from somewhere.
You're but you and me, we the thing with them.
He bites his fist, looking at the emissary, raising his hands up in front of himself, ushering for the group to remain calm and speaking in a calming yet authoritative tone.
Now, nothing to get all worked up about. You can put your weapons away. I mean you're no harm. I simply came to expedite the process, and of course to make things easier for you all.
A single raised eyebrow as he looks around the group, followed by the tilt of his head and a small smile as he looks Tacky's direction.
Now then.
The emissary turns towards ORRA, reaching out his hand. A powerful aura emanates from him, felt by the entire group.
I believe you have something for me.
Yeah.
She opens up her book and fishes out the recipe while looking at Tacky with a squint and shaking her head in aggravation.
Excellent.
One person lightly clapping.
The emissary stands clapping his hands in a small gesture of excitement, as for a brief moment all present feel the sense of eager anticipation from him.
Here you go.
She says while handing the recipe over to the emissary.
The emissary greedily receives the recipe from ORRA, his fingers lightly grazing her hands as he takes it, sending shivers down her spine. He opens the recipe up fully, looking it over.
It's very good. Very good indeed.
Ugh.
Folding the recipe back up and placing it within his jacket, he eagerly licks his lips as he looks at ORRA and the rest of her party. The emissary pulls out a small pouch, then gesturing to ORRA for her to hold her hands out, he proceeds to pour out a substantial amount of gold pieces and gems. Coins and gems rush out of the pouch as some of the loot falls from her hands onto the floor.
Coins and gems piling up, clinking off one another.
The emissary smiles, and with a flourish and a snap of his fingers, the small pouch disappears.
Your payment, as agreed upon.
Said with a slight tilt of the head and smile.
Turning to leave, but then stopping and turning around as if he forgot something.
Oh, and there's one more thing. My master bids me offer you all a bonus for a job well done. So promptly. Here's a prize for you that I think your life. Master wishes to extend to you an invitation to dine this evening at the mansion. It is an honor granted to very few. Call it a well-deserved chance for you to taste the fruits of your labor.
Leaning toward Lyra and whispering.
I thought it was a sweet roll recipe.
Shh! Cinnamon roll. And it's just a figure of speech, love.
Oh, okay.
KAIN stands looking back and forth between ORRA and the emissary, during an awkward pause as nobody says anything.
Right.
KAIN moves next to ORRA, snatching up the gems and coins from ORRA's hands. Tacky joins in picking up the loot that has spilled to the floor. ORRA is still just looking at the emissary as if hypnotized.
Well, I can't say that it hasn't been fun, and we certainly appreciate the offer, but...
ORRA, shaking her head and blinking, she clears her mind as if waking from a trance, then looks at her party of adventurers. Tacky looked at her and mouthed,
I want that pouch.
With a grin, LYRA and BRAKK look at her, nodding their heads in unison, clearly enticed by the opportunity to consume some tasty pastries and culinary excellence. And KAIN looks at her, knowing which way the wind is blowing. He rolls his eyes, leading to her less than unexpected decision.
Yes, of course. We will be happy to join your master for dinner this evening.
Scene 6. Interior. Mysterious benefactor's mansion. Night. Large doors open to the sound of chamber music.
Later that evening, we rejoin our intrepid group of adventurers as they are greeted at the mysterious benefactor's mansion, situated high upon the cliffs north of Oakhaven, known as Thunderclap Falls. The group enters the mansion cleaned up and dressed as nicely as they could muster for an evening at such a posh location, with such an exclusive and enigmatic host. The mysterious benefactor's emissary has greeted them at the door.
Addressing the group.
Welcome to the home of Count Christoph. I assume you had no trouble finding the place.
Oh, it was quite easy to find. Not many mansions on the side of cliffs with a waterfall behind it.
Looking around in amazement, whistles.
Nice digs, Jeeves.
The emissary ushers them and shows them to the main hall's dining area. They are seated at an incredibly massive and long dining room table in the center of the opulent room, surrounded by thick stained glass murals depicting epic battles of great armies clashing in bloody wars, fought hundreds, no, maybe thousands of years ago, covering the impossibly high walls and ceiling. The amber lights illuminating the great hall seem to come from nowhere, as does the music that softly fills the air.
Whispering to ORRA.
ORRA, you creeped out by any of this at all?
Please make yourselves at home. The Count will be joining us soon. He would like for me to express to you how eager he is to have you all for dinner. It is a rare treat for us, and we can't wait for dessert.
Yeah, that's not creepy at all.
KAIN, you worry too much. Bring on the fancy victuals and yummy stuff.
Looking at Lyra and smiling.
Right, Ly?
Looking up at BRAKK and smiling in agreement as she hugs his arm.
Can't wait.
You two behave.
Then looking over to Tacky as he slips something into his pocket.
You too, Tacky.
Looking back at her dejectedly.
What?
The music suddenly gets louder and then ends with a crescendo.
The great hall briefly goes dark as all the lights go out.
Oh, I don't like this.
The lights suddenly come back on, illuminating the great hall brighter than it was before. A figure in grand, opulent garb that can only be the Count stands imposingly at the head of the table, arms wide, posed in a welcome greeting.
Whoosh.
Oh.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh.
Welcome, my guests. Please sit.
The sound of massive chairs sliding on the stone floor.
The massive chair at the head of the table pulls out by itself as the Count sits down in an overly dramatic flourish.
Please sit.
Whispering to Lyra.
I may have pooped again.
Whispering over the two of them.
Nope, that was me this time.
They all sit as the group looks around apprehensively at each other, wondering if they have made a grave mistake.
I have a bad feeling about this.
The Count claps his hands together twice, very loudly. The sound echoes throughout the chamber.
2 loud claps.
We'll put them in later.
Yeah.
A small army of servants appear from a side room with tons of elegantly prepared food, and they quickly serve it to the Count's bewildered guests. He eagerly starts eating and welcomes his guests to do the same.
Please eat. These are some of the finest and rarest of delicacies you will find here or anywhere.
The group shrugs collectively and starts eating. Well, BRAKK had already started eating as soon as the first dish was placed in front of him, but the others now tentatively join in as well, all nodding in agreement as the first bites hit their mouths.
This is the good stuff!
This might be the best thing I've ever eaten. What do you think it is?
I'm pretty sure it's unicorn.
Lyra's eyes go wide as she stops chewing. Everyone looks at Lyra, expecting her to spit out her mouthful of food, hurl, or otherwise say something, but instead, she shrugs her shoulders and happily digs in for another bite while looking at BRAKK. They both smile and nod at each other, continuing to feast. After what seems like a blink of the eye, but clearly had to have been quite some time, as they look around seeing the cleared plates of food and empty serving dishes, the Count stands and announces,
Bring in the dessert!
The emissary enters once again, this time leading a group of servants with desserts. The party approvingly applauds as heaps of pastries and various desserts are brought in. Chief among them, and clearly the star of the presentation, a spire of decadent cinnamon rolls dripping with icing, flowing gracefully down their sides. With an almost preternatural aura that sparkles, if you listen closely, one could swear they could hear each scrumptious roll almost sing with a heavenly glory.
Now that's what I call an epic dessert display. Good Lord.
Oh, that looks amazing!
Licking her lips. A mouthful of food.
The emissary claps and a servant brings each person seated at the table a cinnamon roll for their consumption.
Dramatic music begins.
Behold, that which you have all been waiting for, the glorious and unequaled cinnamon roll of your dreams. Much has been done to bring you this once-in-a-lifetime meal, topped off by this much sought-after succulent pastry. To us this glorious evening, a tremendous thank you must be paid to our guest for making this happen, and of course, to my master, Count Christoph, and his culinary vision, without which none of this would be possible. Enjoy.
The party is surprised at themselves as much as anything else, as they look around at each other, and then to the Count's emissary and the Count as they start clapping.
The music builds.
The Count stands, taking his cinnamon roll in hand, hoists it to the air triumphantly, then lowers it to his mouth, and then takes a huge bite. Then he turns to the gathered guests, smiling and nodding his head to all in attendance, enjoying this epic sweet roll of divine destiny. Wait, the what? Is that right?
Eyes opened wide.
Mindful. Oh. Ah. 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 Ah.
The Count doubles over in pain, screaming as he falls to the ground, going into spasmodic convulsions and writhing in what must be excruciating pain.
Coffee and servants running frantically.
Ah.
Then, all of a sudden, the Count's body starts to what could only be described as violently melting by the frightened and frankly astonished onlookers. Then, with a final back-straightening lurch, he flies into the air, hovering just above the massive banquet table, all his limbs tensed and splayed wide. Then, with one final gasp and defiant yell,
Damn you, cinnamon roll!
Kaboom! Splat.
dying in a most horrible and excruciating death that splashes out like a giant popped blood balloon, covering the members of the party and the emissary in dripping gore.
Oh,
Ew.
wow.
Oh.
Well, you don't see that every day.
What the hell was that?
The emissary looks down at himself covered in the Count's bloody gore. He cleans away the dripping goop that used to be the Count from his eyes and face as he looks at the adventuring party. A combined look of equal parts disbelief, bewilderment, and disgust on his face.
Composing himself, he calmly asks the party,
Just where did you get this recipe again?
From the bakery.
Bakery. Which bakery?
The bakery?
aghast, his eyes wide, as a sudden realization comes to him, stammering out his next question.
Did you steal this from the bakery by the docks, right? On Fifth Avenue, right?
KAIN looks at Taki, who just smiles and hunches his shoulders, then looks around at the rest of the group and ORRA, who also shrugs her shoulders.
Oops.
KAIN looks around at his stunned group, then, after a short pause, he looks back at the emissary.
There's a bakery on 5th?
Fun and comic light fantasy music plays. Fades black.
The end. But for now,
Oh, whoa, wait a minute. That can't be the end.
Yeah, what about all that other stuff?
shh, stop talking, it's over. For now.
There's that wink again. What the hell does that mean?
It is a bit suspicious.
Yes, I too am concerned. Just what does that mean?
Who are you winking to? Me?
No, not you. And no, it's not suspicious. It's a narrative breadcrumb for the audience.
I like bread.
Where's the spread at?
There's no bread.
Well, that doesn't seem fair for the audience to get bread, but we don't.
That's what? Just stop talking. You're not supposed to know about them.
Why not? They know about us.
That's the way a play works. I'm telling your story. In fact, you're all helping to tell your story. It's a play. You know, acting. A play.
Epilogue.
Epilogue? I suppose. Wait, what? Who put that up there? I did. Wait, who the hell are you? And why do you sound like me? Well, technically, you sound like me. I'm the playwright, and I'm with them. You kind of left them hanging with some of those narrative plot threads, or as you are calling them, breadcrumbs. I left them hanging. You're the playwright. If anyone left them hanging, it was you. I'm just reading what's on the page. Yeah. Are you? I don't remember writing that stuff. I think you took a few liberties here and there. And what is up with that mysterious stranger? Why are you asking me? You put him in there. You wrote this. I did? I don't know. Well, I certainly didn't add him in there. Seems sus. Seems what? Okay, never mind. Epilogue away, dear narrator.
Music, settled fantasy music. Builds back up slightly.
And now there's even epilogue music. Yeah, much better. Gotta have that sweet epilogue music. Carry on. Ooh, I can't wait to hear how this whole epilogue thing works out. You can't wait to hear?
Cool, time for the extra stuff.
I don't know what you mean. There is no extra stuff.
Beg your pardon. There's definitely some extra stuff.
Oh, yeah, there is clearly extra stuff.
Quite a bit of extra stuff, actually.
Yeah, what she said.
I specifically remember you narrating about some ominous, shadowy figure lurking about watching us.
I never said ominous, and you aren't supposed to react to the things I say. When you do, you're breaking the fourth wall.
I didn't break any walls. Okay, just the one. 2. But that was because of the burning building and all. But only 2. Definitely not 4. Wait, do doors count as walls?
No, dear. Breaking the fourth wall means that we talk acknowledging the audience and also, in this case, the story narrator, whom are typically beyond our preview as characters in a story.
Yes, from a narrative standpoint, we should not know anything about what the narrator says.
Then he shouldn't be so loud when he's talking about us.
Though I would like to point out historically, many characters in plays have asides, allowing for characters to break the fourth wall quite regularly. Shakespeare does it all the time.
I'm kind of with BRAKK on this one. And who was the non-ominous shadowy figure?
I figured it was him trying to put himself into our story.
You're all missing the point.
He didn't even mention the altercation we got into on the way to the docks that nearly cost us my logbook.
It was a non-connected side story that you all got involved in that took away way too long, and it wasn't germane to the main tale being told.
Wait a second. But you should at least mention some of it, or else in a later tale it won't make any sense.
Fine, I'll go back and add this into an earlier narrative before traveling to the docks. On the way back to your second rendezvous point at the docks, where our intrepid group of adventurers got waylaid by a group of bandits and...
Ooh, make the bandits sound really cool and ultra evil, and make sure I do something really cool and spectacular with my mighty hammer.
Oh, I know. Make it that group of mighty turtle warriors led by that mutant rat BRAKK so wants to run into.
There isn't any mutant rat leading a group of ninja warriors. But I mean, I wouldn't mind you throwing in a flashy sword fight or two where I finally get to use my legendary blade.
Legendary blade?
It is a cool sword.
I know, right?
Oh, yeah. Can you make it so they also have, like, a damsel in distress, or like some hot princess chick that's traveling with them that, you know, gets infatuated with my good looks and charismatic stories to the point?
Maybe it can be another dude in disguise, like the wee seamstresses.
Oh, not like that.
Oh, and if you do go back in and add other parts of the story, can you avoid the part where I set the bakery on fire with a lightning bolt?
Wait, you caused the whole catastrophe? With a lightning bolt? I thought we told you no fiery explosive spells inside the bakery.
It was a lightning bolt, not a fireball.
Lightning bolt?
How was I supposed to know that all the flour in the air was highly flammable?
Everyone knows that.
Not everyone.
Clearly. And here I thought it was that trap I set off in the basement.
What were you doing in the basement?
Have I told you how lovely you look today?
Wait, who killed the baker?
I figured it was you.
I didn't even get to fight anyone this whole adventure. I figured it was you, MAUL.
Nope, not me. Or Lie. Right, Lie?
Nope, not us.
Tacky!
Whoa! Wow! Look at the time. Hey, narrator, how about you wrap this up? Oh, chop, chop.
What do you mean, me wrap this... I ended this part of your adventure pages ago.
Sorry.
Music notes.
As I said before, join us again for further future foolish adventures of the Band of Five Idiots. Till next time, may you all enjoy your time in the realms. The end. For now...
Tinker, Tailor, Baker, and the Cinnamon Roll Maker has been an audio play production by the Log Art Theater of the Community Arts Center of Cambria County. We hope you've enjoyed this program.